Welcome back to another episode of the 2023 NBA Draft Prospect Profiles here on the Field of 68. My name is Rob Doster. I have with me Coach Matt McCall, and today we are going to be breaking down Gonzaga wing Julian Strawther, who we saw hit one of the biggest shots, most memorable shots, most statement shots in this year's NCAA tournament. It was something like a 30-footer that he made to give Gonzaga the lead with about 11 seconds left over UCLA in the Sweet 16 out in Las Vegas. He averaged 15 points a game this season. He averaged 6 rebounds a game this season. He shot 47% from the floor. Most importantly, Matt, he shot 41% from three. He's a 6'7", 205-pound junior. What do you make of Julian Strawther, who has all of the prototypes of a 3-and-D wing at the next level?
Oh, you said it right there. The 3-and-D wing. I could not agree with you more. The only thing, Rob, I'm going to disagree with you. You said the most important thing is he shot 41% for three. No, the most important thing is he stuck with the process. He stuck with the process. Only played in 25 games as a freshman, averaged 7 minutes per game, 3.4 points per game, as a player that was really highly recruited.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at that now and just today in the transfer portal and how many kids are in the transfer portal, a guy like that stuck to it, and he got better. His sophomore year averaged 11.8 points per game, 27 minutes a game, and it increased this season as well. So I think that's the biggest thing with Julian Strawther is he stuck with it. He didn't leave. He didn't leave after his freshman year when, quote unquote, as a higher rated recruit, it wasn't going as he expected it to, which is what the whole transfer portal is. It's when it's not going the way I expected it to, I'm going to go to this school. And then when it doesn't go the way that it's going at that school, I'm going to go to this school. That's the day and age. He stuck with the process and he got better. And I have tremendous respect for that.
Yeah, and you know what I think that's really important to kind of look at the next level is he had no expectation of being the guy, right? When you play on teams that have Chet Holmgren and you play on teams that have Jalen Suggs and you play on teams that have Drew Timme, like you know you're not going to be the superstar. And when he gets to the NBA, he's not going to be the superstar. And I think that leads to the idea that you can have role acceptance. So let's talk about that role. I think he very much projects as a guy that's going to be a 3-and-D wing. You're going to be a catch and shoot 3-point guy. You're going to be an attack closeout guy, and you're going to be a 6'7", pretty good wingspan, pretty good athlete. You got to guard 2 through 4. Sometimes you got to switch on to point guards. You have to be a defensive stopper. I think the shooting part is there. My question to you is, do you trust him on the defensive end of the floor as a 200-pound, 6'7", 21-year-old?
Well, I think that they're going to put size. He's going to get it. It's going to be basketball all the time. He's not going to have to worry about going to class or doing these other things. It's just going to be focused on ball, the development piece, being in the weight room, being with the strength coach. You know, these NBA franchises, right? You walk into their practice facility and there is a chef that's there that's waiting on you to prepare your food, to make you whatever you want, to put on some size and some strength. But the stat to me this year that stands out the most, just in terms of that, where is he at defensively? Average 6.2 rebounds per game. And for a guy, I know he has the height at 6'7", and we've talked about his shooting ability, but he can get down there and mix it up, and he puts value on rebounding the basketball. And his numbers, again, from his freshman year to this season, they just continued to increase. So I don't worry about that at all. You know he's been coached. Mark Few, one of the best in college basketball. He's going to be prepared to take this next step. So I don't worry about the defensive end of the floor because of his length, and he's not afraid to get down there and mix it up inside.
So he's a guy that has a pretty wide range of projections depending on like the mock drafts that you look at. For example, my buddy Sam Vecchio at The Athletic has Julian Strawther as a mid-20s first-round pick right now. You go and you look at ESPN and Gavoni and Jeremy Wu over there have him as like a late 40s second-round pick. If you were an NBA GM, where would you be looking to target Julian Strawther? Is it like an early second round range, or you think you want to lock him in as a playoff team into a guaranteed contract for 4 years? What are you looking at with Strawther and where you would take him?
I mean, I'm looking at as a playoff team to lock him into a guaranteed contract because I do think he has upside, and I think his best basketball is in front of him, and I think his numbers in college prove it. They improved every single year in every single statistical category. He's young. He needs to add some muscle and some size. But because of that, because of the progression he's had in college, because of the fact that he stuck with the process and didn't waver and didn't throw his name in the transfer portal just to do it, because that's what everyone does now. And he stuck with this, man, if I'm a playoff team, to be able to add him to our franchise and groom him and get him better and maybe spend a little time in the G League, but we know that he'd be able to handle that, right? Because he stuck with this process. His ego is not going to get hurt if he has to go to a G League franchise on assignment. I think a playoff team that can take him anywhere between 20 and 30, I think it's a no-brainer pick.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think I would not be surprised to see him drop into the second round. I think there's a lot of teams where they don't want that locked in salary. So they'll take one of these like draft and stash guys that they never actually plan on playing, or they'll sell the pick, or this, that, the third, or they'll take a shot on someone that has crazy upside, like all-star potential. That's the one thing that I would say about Strawther is our partner for today's episode is Athletic Greens. I started taking AG1 during the college basketball season, and I loved the impact that it had on my energy levels. I'm a big coffee in the morning guy, but by the time that the afternoon would hit, I needed another boost. AG1 helped me tremendously, especially on those days when I didn't want to get up off the couch and go hit the gym. Their tagline is AG1 is comprehensive health and the power of habit in one. And man, that could not be more true. It's nearly impossible to eat and drink in a healthy manner in the month of February and the month of March when you are in my business. And AG1 was exactly the supplement that I needed to improve my gut health and cover my nutritional basis for the day. I've continued that into April. I've continued that into May, and I'm going to continue that the rest of the summer. All I have to do is mix a scoop of AG1 with some water, or maybe add it into a smoothie, and I'm ready to go. Do it after lunch, and you'll be ready to go for the rest of the day. If a comprehensive solution is what you need from your supplement routine, then Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Go to athleticgreens.com/field68. That's field 68 FIELD, the number 6, the number 8, and you can get yours now. So check it out and help support this show. Thanks. I don't know if he has the same kind of ceiling as some of the other guys that you kind of like. Take Noah Clowney, for example, right? I think Noah Clowney is a guy that has a higher ceiling if everything hits than Strawther, but you kind of know what you're getting in Julian Strawther. And I think there's something that's comforting in that.
Yeah. And again, I think one of the biggest stats, not just with his rebounding, but you alluded to this earlier, like his 3-point shooting has gotten better, right? Every single year, 32%, 36%, 40%. Yes, the line is back a little bit further, but he has improved. And at 6'7", at his size, to be able to space the floor and knock down shots when your primary guys, whether it be, LeBron, Devin, but whoever the ball is in their hands for the majority of the game, look, you watch the NBA, what threes are always open? Threes in the corner. So whoever's in the corner, when the ball gets swung to you, can you drill that shot on a consistent basis? And based on his numbers, he's gotten better every year. I think he's the guy that can do it. And then can you go back on the other end of the floor and defend and switch and mix it up and get rebounds? And again, his numbers have improved every year in those categories.
Yeah, to showcase the value of this, since I just watched the game the other night, Landry Shamet hit 4 threes, all from the same spot, all from the same quarter in the fourth quarter of a game to help the Suns come from behind to beat the Nuggets to get it to game 4. In game 5, they got smacked. He missed those shots, and he kind of got lit up a little bit by Jamal Murray in the second half of that game. So that's kind of what you need, I think, out of Strawther, right? The last question I have for you is he played in the WCC. Are you concerned about the transition to the highest level? Did we see him enough against high major caliber opponents over the course of the last 3 seasons? Where do you stand on that?
I mean, you got to think to look back at Gonzaga's schedule over the last 3 years. I mean, Mark Few was not afraid to schedule some of the best teams in the country. and their non-conference schedules have been ridiculous to say. Even this past season, the previous season, because Mark Few knows his conference, and he knows, hey, we're going to schedule out of conference to play the best teams in the country to prepare us to win the conference title. So I think he's played enough against the best teams in the country. That is not a concern of mine at all. I think, the right franchise, taking him, the development piece, getting him stronger, getting him more physical to be able to mix it up a little bit more on the inside, switch actions, be able to keep smaller guards in front of him. But I don't worry about, he's played against some of the best players in the country.
Yeah. Biggest thing with him is just get your ass in the weight room and put on some strength, because 205 is really not all that strong when it comes to these NBA wings. Listen, this has been the Breakdown 2023 NBA Draft Prospect Profile for Gonzaga's Julian Strawther. Check the links in the description, where you're rolling out more than 50 of these over the course of the next 2 months. And again, make sure you check out our live expert mock draft coming 1 week before the actual draft itself. Thank you for watching the Field of 68. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, hit that like button, share this link with your friends, or check out the description for some other places that you can consume Field of 68 content.